afternoon, Patriots. Hello, hello, hello. It is the Matrixxx Groove Hour. It is 6/13, June 13th, 2019. I believe it is on the eve of our POTUS's birthday, and we've got my partner in justice here as usual, Mr. Shady Groove. Welcome. Welcome, Shady.
Matrixxx, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for coming in. And again, we've got a very, very, very special guest today. It is going to be the Paul Ceran. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Matrixxx. Thank you, Shady. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, we are honored to have you here. It is the Matrixxx Groove Hour. And I think Thursdays we're going to, have... Mr. Ceran on as well. I have a lot of respect for him. He's also been cued a couple of times, and his threads are, very, very, very good. I would suggest you guys get over there, follow him, check him out, and we'll get you. Let me just get to the Windows capture here. There it is. He made this awesome meme, Paul Ceran and the Matrixxx Groove Hour, with those two characters on the left there. Shady, you notice those two guys there? Who are those two guys?
Those two guys, I like those guys.
But it's the guy on the right that we love. Paul, welcome, man. I really appreciate you coming here, and that meme is really wonderful. I want to get through a couple of things real quick, and then we'll hand it over to Paul to see what's on Paul's mind. I don't know if you caught the show yesterday. We had Dustin Nemos on the show. Go ahead and get a chance to go over there and check out Dustin Nemos. But I wanted to show you this. It is 58 years ago today, President JFK signed a presidential proclamation calling for the American flag to be flown at the Marine Corps War Memorial at all times during day and night. And there it is right there. Beautiful, most excellent U.S. Marines. And, as we know, we kind of look at, let me Google, Marines on the intheMatrixx.com/Q posts, and let's see what we come up with. I had a Q17 stuck out to me. Let's go ahead and look at the full Q17 real quick. Why does Obama travel in advance of POTUS to foreign locations? And this was 10/31/17. This was October 31st, 2017. Why is this relevant? Focus on the power of POTUS as it relates to the Marines. How can MI, military intelligence, be applied to prosecute bad actors and avoid corrupt agencies and judges? Biggest drop on poll. And keep in mind, this was October 31st, 2017. And Q is telling us something here, guys. Let's listen. Biggest drop on poll. Above is the reason why the shills are sliding. In case you didn't know, shills log and send new info back to ASF for instruction. They use a 5-prong pre-packaged injection. One post auto-generates 4 more at a random designated times. Common drive of posts they all tap into. Since they misjudge the influence of the MSM and they are aggressively looking into censor thought, major platforms in exchange for CIA slush funds and worldwide access for expansions of said networks. Everything they do has been forecasted and prepared for. Hello, shills. Good to see you guys. Praying for you all. Shady, what do you guys think about that post?
Well, that's 3 days. I think three days after the very first post, and this was really a leap off point for a lot of us to see. Like, wow, the information coming out of this source is pretty incredible, and a lot of people were already on to like what's going on with the 44 buying a mansion right next in DC, and he's moving all over the place to these countries, and Kerry's moving all over the place, and then they were. Q started to point to it right off the bat. And I think this is very interesting, pointed back to the Marines, like you were just saying, and to who can we trust in the military, because corruption runs deep. And Q has shown us how deep the corruption runs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that photo. Look at this meme here that brilliant Anon made.
So
Q
great.
Strong. Where we go, one we go all is in the upper right-hand corner. And just so you guys know, on Q Research, on the boards, guess what we use? Let me see. Here's the catalog right here. Guess what they use for all of the threads, aka breads? If you look at that right there, you can see the Iwo Jima QAnon research. That is Q's board and has been since the beginning, guys, while on 8chan, I should say. So very, very interesting post there, I thought, guys. So, keep going, keep fighting. Fight, 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 as we say. I also, Shady had a really interesting thread here. You guys need to go check it out. Nobody is talking about the antitrust. The trust. Q's gavel leads back to a photo first time used on the internet in 2009, leading back to an article calling Trust and Antitrust Enforcement. Q's gavel. Okay. Here it is right now. He did a quick search on antitrust. Shady, would you want to go over this? Go ahead and talk about it.
Well, yeah, I was just kind of looking at the current news stories and just seeing, just to get an idea. And, just antitrust into Google pulls up all of this yesterday. And the idea of how, you and I have been talking about all of this so much. And we're seeing what Google is doing to our YouTube channel here. We're seeing what Twitter is doing to our Twitter feeds. Paul can attest to that as well. The censorship is unbelievable. They keep checking all these boxes on your Twitter and making it to where you can't see stuff. And now, this is the Justice Department attacking the deep state. This, we know that these companies, Google, Facebook, are Twitter, are deep state clown ops. And now we're seeing the Justice Department attack the deep state clown ops, right? So the antitrust really to stick there and to see all those stories. And then, here's Q's post right there. Do you trust the mainstream media? Do you trust Facebook? Do you trust Google? Do you trust YouTube? Do you trust Twitter? Narrative, censorship. Do not blindly believe. Fake. They want you divided. Together you are strong. Apart you are weak. Organize, challenge, fight. Do you think Antifa was grown organically? Purpose. Watch the news this week. But that Q post talks about this, man. This is telling you straight up. This is the trust. Trust is the plan. Trust is these companies. They've been, this is your surveillance state. And I wanted to put this thread together and connect it back with how your media is wrapped into it. And then these antitrust laws. These right here, the links that I put up are the links that Q posted. He wants you to read antitrust laws. He wants you to understand antitrust laws. He wants you to see the antitrust connected to the Googleopoly of our world right now. All the searches that go through Google, they are censoring you. They're editing information, and they're masquerading as some sort of public forum. So we have to have this conversation, and I think the president and with Q specifically are pointing us to this by this being in the news. Simply this being in the news points to these Q posts, right, Matrixx? Absolutely,
and you have that Q post 3178, which is very interesting.
Yes, this one, you want me to read it?
Yeah.
The only way to regain the trust regarding equal justice under the law, regarding White House, regarding Intel, regarding FBI, regarding DOJ, regarding Senate, regarding Congress, regarding Five Eyes, regarding our government of the majority of the American people is to provide truth, transparency, and the prosecution of all those who knowingly took part in this illegal manufactured effort, attempted coup to take down the president of the United States. One opens the door, the Great Awakening. Q. And now I just noticed I should have put some of the knowingly posts in this thread as well, Matrixx, right, because that's another big one that connects right into what is treason. Yeah. Knowingly is treason.
That's right. And these two antitrust laws are in Q post, guys. So
yep,
there's so much to reread Q. Instead of wasting effort on other things, let's go back and reread Crumbs, guys. Because look at what you got. And I want to tell you right now that when I was sitting there trying to find out another pattern with Q posts, I'm like, trust Huber, trust. And I'm like looking at the trust posts, like, you Google, you go to Q post intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com/Q post. I just Googled trust and I saw this. Do you trust the MSM? Do you trust Facebook? Do you trust Google? Do you trust YouTube? Do you trust Twitter? My answer was, well, no. Right? I know.
Exactly.
And so I Googled trust and antitrust, and that's how I stumbled upon Q's gavel. And that's how the Trust the Plan thread started. Nobody helped me. That was my own work and everything else. I can do it myself. This is the Googleopoly that Shady was talking about. This is the Telecommunications Act of 1996, which is very important, by the way. And that is BC. Bill Clinton set the stage. You think it's a plan? Could a new Telecommunications Act be on the way? Because this is what they did. Shady, if you want to describe a little bit about this one, I was very proud of this. Get out of here! We're not proud of it. Bill. Geez,
Well, I think that you can read the little quick definition here about what had happened, but this really was the lead in to everything you saw this Telecommunications Act. You had you had music, and you had movies, and you had this whole layer of communications of entertainment that through this act they were able to usurp all the music industry, all of the TV industry, all of the movie industry. They used this to insert the cabal into the mainstream, the propaganda right into your conversation. This was 5 years before 9/11. They were well ready by the time that event occurred. If you paid attention to what happened on 9/11, you saw how they synced up all the news coverage at the same time so they could make sure everybody was getting the same shot. That leads back to this, all of the music being destroyed and terrible music being put up in front of you is because of this. This goes back to usurping the conversation and taking away choice in media, I guess is a good way to put it. Really, it does come back down to being able to propagandize every aspect of American life. And they, this is what Q is pointing us back to. A lot like he's pointing us back to the stuff that they were doing with Joe Biden and the gangs and everything in that same era. Bring them to heel. Same era, same people, same guys.
And there's the trust the plan thread, Shady. Very well said. Also, the Telecommunications Act. You can also see a little tax on your cell phone bills and your phone bills.
Right.
That money was used for what they called E-rate, and E-rate was put into schools. So people that, and the way that schools qualified by E-rate is how many people they had on the lunch program so they could give them higher technology. And that's kind of like the no one left behind kind of thing. But it also, I believe, was used for more nefarious purposes as well. Shady, really good thread here. Let me just make sure I did it all. Oh no, we got this last one here. Hang on. You got the Wikipedia, you got the trust the plan thread, and this right here. I will not learn that. I'm going to go ahead and read it.
That my social media is the deep state, is the intelligence agency. If you teach me that, I begin to see the world for what it has really become. Wake up, America. Thanks for joining us. This is showing you info that tells you these companies are the surveillance state. Google, Facebook, Twitter, they are the surveillance state. They were created by the CIA. We can show you the CIA is the CFR, is the Paysor Trust protection of the secret, is the Vatican, is all of this stuff that is enslaving your world.
What is Shady?
It is, Bill.
Pentagon kills LifeLog project, DARPA LifeLog project, the very same day, February 4th, 2014. When Facebook filed for their corporation, guys.
They never thought she would lose.
They never thought she would lose. So Anons know, and it's awesome too. When Q posted this, finder of this should apply to NSA. Q. And he says, check the dates. Pentagon kills LifeLog project same day Facebook is formed. Now, I almost think that this was Q Helper that posted this on the boards.
Right. Well, there's been quite a few Q Helper out there.
Exactly. So I thought that was a most excellent post. And then real quick, I want to, that thread there too, that leads to is also good, is equals if, spell, not like Chris. This is in regards to Bill Maher, right, who accused real Donald Trump of being Putin's biatch and traitor. He also owes me a grand bet that there was collusion with Russia, other of Mayor's delusions. And I'm like, what is equals if? It's right here. If he loses, it won't go. I've been saying that since before he got elected. Real-time host Bill Maher warns Chris Cuomo that Trump may not leave the White House if he loses the presidential election in 2020, saying it's something we have to worry about. So that was the Bill Maher, and then you, me, Anons know that misspellings and sentence structure and all of this stuff matters, right? Like when Donald Trump posted AT&T and left out the P and stopped, because we know that AT&T is a Pacer company, right?
And then here he corrected someone like 4 tweets away.
That's right. And then I remember this post from from Q, and it says this: do you remember their names? We do. Do you really believe you're still safe, protected? The world is watching. This is a Q post that links to this video, guys. And let's just watch a little bit of it. Here we go.
Well, if Trump supporters don't want us to call them stupid, they have to stop coming up with things like Q. Oh, you heard? Yeah, it was just a few months ago in this space that I was talking about how Republicans are now the conspiracy party, and that there is literally nothing so ridiculous they won't swallow. Birth certificate, chemtrails, Jade Helm, lizard people. And now we have Q. What is Q? Well, Q is a person.
Q is your worst nightmare, pal.
We just know it's someone with super high Q-level security clearance, so he knows all the shit that goes on in the deep state. Namely, that our government is riddled with a rogue criminal element that is interested in evil in general, but their specialty is pedophilia. And why not? Almost half of Trump voters already believed that Hillary Clinton ran a child sex ring out of a pizza parlor. But it turns out that was just the tip of the iceberg, and frankly, it would be easier to find a powerful person who isn't a pedophile. George Soros is one, and so are the Rothschilds, J.P. Morgan, John McCain, the Illuminati, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, and every president since Reagan. But not Trump. Oh, no. Oh, no. In the Q world, he's the superhero whose whole life has been a cover so he could be in place to strike back against the pedophile rings.
And that is happening, by the way. We have evidence, Bill.
Lady, there's no...
So I want to go back. I want to show you this over here. Here we go.
I am you. Oh, it feels so good to finally be myself. A computer whiz in a hoodie. My entire life has been a sham that gave me the perfect cover to be your source for what's really happening in America. The drugs, the atheism, the stuff at the Playboy Mansion. I did that to throw everybody off the set.
Dad.
I'm actually a Presbyterian who goes to church every Sunday with my wife and our homeschooled twins, Margaret and Thatcher.
All right, so I just wanted to give you an idea, the mockery that this gentleman is doing. He is afraid.
That was over a year ago.
Yeah, that was August 10th, 2018.
Almost a year ago. Wow. That's prophetic, isn't it?
and we've got so much more. If you look underneath Donald Trump's tweet here, you'll see a lot more about our friend, what's his nut? Bill Maher. Anyway,
Anons are really doing a good job saucing the president's tweets now. I've noticed.
That's right. And this is a great meme, real quick, by Belle Dandolo right here. She made this meme, and it's wonderful. She in the picture represents the world that has fallen injured. He in the picture is America trying to protect her and is taking all the hits so she doesn't completely fall. This is the battlefield. And she led us to Q Post 1350, and that's a wonderful meme. I love it. That's amazing. And I really quick want to go over Q Post 1358. Trust must be earned. Trust is not blind, nor is truth. We fight every single day on behalf of you, the people who put us here. We knew this day would come. We will never forget. Do not glorify us. We are merely the vehicle. You are what matters. You are hope. You are love. You are peace. Stay united. Stay together. Stay strong. This is bigger than any one person or entity. You are fighting for truth collectively. Will of the people, trust in yourself. The choice will always be yours. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go some.
Oh,
It's all, right, Paul? Or is it some?
it's all except the haters.
Except the haters, right?
Except the haters.
Right. So where we go one, we go all, in all caps, Q plus, guys. That is a message and a reminder from Q plus. This is bigger than any one person or entity. You are fighting for truth collectively. Trust in yourself. Where we go one, we go all.
All.
So I thought, Belle, that's why I loved your meme. That's why I loved the picture, because I thought it was 158 and it's actually 150. So interesting how things are led to me. You see what I'm saying? Like she wanted one. I looked at that on my phone. I thought that was an 8 and found that. So this is how things are just, brought to us, if you will. You see what I mean? Also, I want to show you this. I noticed this yesterday. Lisa May Crowley, Italy, UK, Australia, and Durham's crosshairs. Gina Haspel will fully cooperate with the investigations. And here's the Q post. Ask yourself why are two key allies very concerned regarding declass and release. You have more than you know. UK, Australia, primary. Let's listen to this real quick.
Lawyer up because Durham is now seeking interviews, especially with top CIA officers. That's right. Investigation into the investigators is going to be all-encompassing, like we've been telling you, will likely now spread across continents. Pay attention to Italy, Great Britain, and Australia. According to the Times, CIA Director Gina Haspel rightly is instructing her agency to fully cooperate, and they will, from the dirty dossier to the rampant spying against Trump associates, and then the leaking of sensitive material to rig an election, the single biggest abuse of power scandal in American history. The truth is now being covered. The boomerang of all boomerangs of justice is in full swing, and high-ranking former bureaucrats, they are in deep, deep trouble tonight, and there's no stopping this train.
No stopping this train, guys. Because you're on the Trump train, not the Pesur train.
That's right, and we are moving, my friend.
Tom Fitton says, pardon General Flynn. I believe he will be exonerated. All will be right in the end, as Q tells us, but keep fighting for General Flynn. General Flynn, I stand with you.
Yeah, this is great. This is great news right here with the attorney.
Sidney Powell is the new counsel for General Flynn.
Yes, this is amazing. Even the president tweeting about it.
And last night, I just had a little bit of inspiration, and I made this last night for Donald Trump's campaign. This is a reminder, guys. It was a 16-year plan, and we're watching the first 8 years leave, guys. We got to make sure that they don't have a chance to get the next 4. Ready? Here we go.
That I accept your nomination.
Being president is a serious job. It's not hosting a talk show.
Will never be president.
That is when we said goodbye to the deep state. It's very simple. Without the illegal vote, D's lose. It's game on. Keep America great. 2020. Go ahead and do me a favor. Retweet that and support your President Trump. There is only one reference to Q in this post. And people that reread crumbs and know the crumbs know that it's very simple. Without illegal votes, D's lose. That is a Q post, guys. So it's game on, guys. On the 18th, Donald Trump, our president, will announce his re-election in Orlando, Florida. 75,000 people have signed up to go into a 20,000 capacity arena
In like a week.
in a week. And Joe Biden had his rally in a hallway.
He had 80.
All right. So, guys, stay tuned.
I think-
Paul, stay tuned for some news on the 18th. We might know somebody who's going to that rally. Yes. Yes. And Paul,
I have played for bigger crowds than that in my local pub here. You know,
Yes, you have.
I mean, of course, the Biden one, not the.
absolutely. And this is the Paul meme right here. Paul Saran in the Matrix. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're so glad to have you. Very special guest. I wanted to quickly cover this too because I kept forgetting because we've had some great guests. This was my weekend thread on the weekend that they lost the brother Tony. And what really got me on this, this was this day, this was June 8th when this was, tweeted. My mind is flooded with memories. Really stuck out in my head. Haiti? Well, there's Rodham's invite, scrutiny, Bill and Hillary. He cycled various ventures. He owns a gold mine there, all while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. And then flooding. What about, there was 4 dead after torrential rains causing flooding in Haiti. So, obviously we've got a lot coming out on this. I just wanted to let you know that I saw this right away. That's what I saw. These people work with spells. These people work with words. They kind of tell you what was happening. Just the night before, there was flooding in Haiti.
And then there's like no real coverage of this. There's a couple of different things, speculation out there of the way that he died. There wasn't anything reporting where he was when he died, and no one really talking about it. So I think that is really interesting.
Yep. And then one last thing, Paul, that I want to cover is Julian Assange, U.S. extradition requests in UK government green light, right? So this is June. He does go before a judge on Friday, but Sajid, let's see, what's the guy's name? So UK Home Secretary Sajid Javid has signed the request from the Department of Justice. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is one step closer to being extradited to the U.S. from the UK.
This is such good news.
Charges for being a conspiracy hack government computers, conspiring to hack government computers. BBC's program. So at the bottom, Assange is being held at Belmarsh Prison and is thought to be in ill health. He is expected to appear in Westminster Magistrate Court on Friday. What day is Friday? Right? And then let's look at this, guys. Let's look at this. Man, they're attacking my internet again today. Here we go. Let's look at all Q posts with June ETA and Julian Assange. Anon's new. You guys knew. If you guys are reading the Q posts and looking up stuff with Julian Assange, you would know this Q post. 1591. SR and JA in June. Anything? JA in the news. Think JC. Server unlocks SR. And that's Comey, right, guys? MS-13. 287 nearby. 187. That's penal code for murder in California. Phones unlock command and control. ETA estimated it has begun. And this was back in 26/18, almost 1 year delta. Here it is on 4/20/18. Answer Q regarding Seth Rich. SR, Seth Rich. June, Julian Assange. Now, and this is a Fox News article alleging the conspiracy by Trump campaign, Russia, WikiLeaks to disrupt 2016 presidential election. Coincidence? Q. And then 1195 on 4/19/18. When will we find out about Seth Rich in Las Vegas? SR connected to DNC. MS-13. JA, Julian Assange. Why did the D's push legal rep on family? June ETA. Q. What do you think about that, guys?
Wow.
What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, very nice. And that there's a lot of stuff that was pointing to months that were not in the year that we thought they were. They were actually pointing to the next June, the next May, and this is very, very interesting. And I do believe that once Assange gets to the U.S., things will move much quicker.
I agree that as well. Also, Stormy Joe Patriot actually just reminded me, and we didn't cover it either, but we need to. But there was 1,700 pedos arrested. Okay, and this is from the DOJ website. And you know what? This is just the first one I could find. But it is on the DOJ website. Nearly 1,700 suspected child sex predators arrested during Operation Broken Heart. And we know,
BHO, Broken Heart Operation.
So beautiful, isn't it? I mean,
it's great.
And if
that's what I'm telling you. Yeah, symbolism works for us too.
It does.
Exactly right.
It does. Symbolism does go both ways. Think mirror, right? And that's, and look at that. 357 children who suffered recent ongoing historical sexual abuse were exploited in the production of child pornography. I mean, 1,700 suspected online child sex offenders. And if you remember, do you know what this is? This is the calm before the storm. Do you remember when our president talked about that? The meeting that he had after that session was all about putting everything, all of the states, all of the federal government's assets as much as he can to end or nearly end sex trafficking, child trafficking, guys. Our president has done more than any other president ever with sex trafficking.
It's really revolutionary.
It is revolutionary.
It is. It is. And Stormy Joe Patriot, brother, thank you, man, for reminding me. And I really, meant to cover that again. That was, thank you. Also, I want to give a special shout out to all of our mods right now. Kiwi Patriot, Pseudonym. Who else do we have out there? Obviously, we've got Jay Vega. Jay Vega has been a longtime mod for our show. She's absolutely amazing. She's a Patriot 110%. And I just want to show her much, much love. And Shady, I don't know, your thoughts on our mods and everybody that we've got out there.
Well, Jay Vega is one righteous dude.
Yeah, he is.
I love all our mods out there. Thanks so much, all of you guys, for helping bring all the anons to the sauce. That is the idea of this program, is to be able to link up our conversations and our discussions with the information and the actual source material, so that in the future you can reference back. You can come back to the episode. You can get the link. You can send people here to see the stuff. That is the whole idea. So these moderators make this program what it is, and that's what sets us apart from any other media outlets.
Yeah, JT Wild says, I'm a lazy mod. Miss Q says, love our mods. Love you, Miss Q. Carly Bond is also one of our mods. Kiwi, Pseudonym, Jay Vega. Love you all. And you guys have been amazing, and a real reason why this chat room is the best chat room on the internet, as Shady said. When we're talking about stuff, it gets dropped. So when you're watching this in replay on intheMatrixx with 3x's.com, or excuse me, youtube.com/c/intheMatrixx with 3x's, every day, 1 p.m. Eastern, or the replay, open the live chat, and you'll see all of the source and everything that we're saying. If you want to click and retweet, if you want to click and make a comment, whatever you do, it's out there. So, Paul, with that, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. And this is your day. This is Paul Saran Day on the Matrixxx Groove Hour.
I'm having a ball. There's so much good content. And if you stop to think about it, things have picked up such momentum. I still occasionally see people saying, "Oh, nothing's happening." I go like, "Stop, man! I can't deal with that much stuff happening at once."
Are you tired of winning?
No,
he is not, Matrixx.
No, I will never be tired of winning, but it's the pace that the operations in all fronts have gotten, from Spygate to curbing child abuse and child trafficking, to the international travels by POTUS, it's really relentless, and I'm very proud and happy to be in this revolution.
Yeah, and we're proud to have you here. I met you pretty early on, like, really early on, and we actually had a couple of discussions, and you were like, "What about this? What about that?" And I said this, that, and you disagreed, and we agreed to disagree, and we talked, and then we agreed about other stuff, and you know what I mean, Paul? And that's what it's about. It's about we're looking at a puzzle. These Q posts are a puzzle because they can't tell us exactly what it is due to national security. But, Paul and I have always kind of gone back and forth, with, real questions and trying to figure stuff out and decode. And, I've always had a big respect for you. And then, I'm glad Praying Medic picked up onto you as well, because Praying Medic also, loves the Matrixxx Groove Hour. I hope you're out there, Denise and Dave. Hello, hello. I hope you're listening. We love you.
Great.
And, we've got a lot of great people here, Paul. And I just wanted to let everybody know that I've known Paul probably since March March, April.
Yeah, that was probably when I was really starting. I've been on Twitter since December of 2017, but I only really started writing about February, March. So you really picked me up from the very start as far as writing is concerned.
Yeah, and me too. I just started putting my threads on. I started figuring out about February, March too. I didn't know about, Twitter at all. And I'm like, wait, what if I did Q posts and put them in a thread? Have like, hey, here's, Q alert, new Q, and then post the Q post, and then the brilliant Anons digging, and even some of my thoughts. And brought that over to Twitter too. And I think that's why, Paul, when you're over the target, I mean, I've got almost every single Q post since last February, February 2018.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's what's happening is that there's one silver lining in all that is that if we on the conservative scene, we have a little bit of time to fight among ourselves, that's a good sign, Yeah. We're not so strangled by the left anymore. There's even a room for disagreement and bickering about. That's not bad. But the way some people behave, I think it's pretty bad. And I really had to curb some people that were once important to me, because I had to say to them, I've known intheMatrixxx since the beginning of this fight. I have been shoulder to shoulder to him, and Shady, of course, too, from the start, and you don't come to me now to say that, oh, he's this and that's it. He's not, if you were not to be a good person, or if you were to be someone who was invading the movement in any way, I would have known, and you would have known if I was too, we're not stupid. We know each other. I read everything you write for 18 months, Yep. I'm not stupid. If you are not a very nice person that you are, I would have known by now for a long time. So I had to be rough on some people that I did not want to be, but I had to just put a line on the sand, because I have been in Brazil for 13 years under the Workers' Party rule. So I can't be bullied, The ideological patrols in Brazil are brutal. You have no idea. And I lived 13 years under that. So there's really nothing Patriots can do to bully me. It's just impossible. So I'm very proud to be here. I'm happy, honored. I think you guys have a kick-ass program. And the fact that you would like me to be here, it's such an honor. And I hope I can contribute in some
honor
fashion.
is all ours. And because Paul was in that movement down there and knows what's happening, he knows the tactics that are being used. Is that correct, Paul?
Yeah, of course. And let me tell you, they're not sending their best, because they're not.
We know that.
Yeah, they're not capable trolls, because I had one or two capable trolls that they engage you in the beginning, etc. They just send people, they get to be nasty to me once, and then I block them. That's not very productive. They have to go and create another fake profile to attack me, and then attack me once and get blocked. It's like not cost productive.
Absolutely. So I've got the screen share for you. If you want to screen share anything.
I would like to. I have a few things that
I'm excited about this, Matrixx.
And just know your screen share is showing right now. So, you know, and if you want me to hide it until you get ready, there you go. Looks like, there we go. There you are.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
Now
we've got you.
To begin with, we were together for the last time on last Wednesday. And after that, we had the D-Day celebrations. They were just amazing to me. I was so moved by that. I was so moved indeed that during the time of the POTUS speech, I was like looking at Macron and I was like, oh, okay, that's the French president. Nice guy. I was like totally disarmed in a way. You know, I'm going to say something really outrageous now, but we have to thank the Nazis because they are the only thing in this world that can get everybody to agree upon. You know, there was this one beautiful moment where nobody was fighting and everyone sort of agreed that it was a great thing that the greatest generation did 75 years ago. And as much as I think that Macron is a real piece of shit and should be overthrown today, if possible, I was happy that for 1 second he was just the French president and we were the allies on the Second World War and the heroes were there. So I was very moved. So that led me to writing something from the heart, which was about the Brazilian troops, because nobody knows that Brazil fought with the allies on the Second World War. Did you know that, guys? Yeah. What happens is nobody knows Brazil fought. When Brazilian President Bolsonaro visited the United States a few months ago, there was this talk that perhaps Brazil could be on NATO. And a few people were like, oh, but Brazil is not in North Atlantic. And I was like, well, Albania is not on the North Atlantic. What have Albania ever done for you guys, you know? Because Brazil actually fought a lot, and I'd just like to show you that not many people know Brazil has bravely fought alongside the Allies in the greatest war, but we did. People think that we are like the bloody Argentinians. I hate them, so I always try to pick a shot at them. So people think we are like the bloody Argentinians who declared war on the Nazis a mere 60 days before they surrendered, but we are not. We paid the blood tribute to liberty. This was the central point, that Brazil is a country that has put lives on the line for our liberty. This is when we broke relations with Germany, Italy, and Japan, and subsequently they sank 36 merchant ships and killed over 1,700 people during the Second World War because of our breaking relations. So what happens is Brazil declared war on Germany and Italy, but not Japan, on August 22, 1942, and pledged to send troops. Between the pledge to send troops and the actual troops arriving in Europe, many Brazilians were cynics and did not believe that we could do it. A saying at the time said that it was more likely for snakes to smoke than our troops to fight in Europe. Here we have a guy with a parakeet on the rifle. So when Brazil actually got to Europe to fight, they had this smoking cobra was the patch that they had, and the motto was the cobra is smoking, because the impossible was actually happening, and we were in Europe fighting the Nazis. And let me tell you, Brazilian troops were the only troops in the European theater of war that were racially integrated. It's actually impossible to assemble a group of Brazilians that are not racially integrated. We have a lot of problems, but this is not one of them. So although our troops only fought in the Italian campaign, there were hardened Nazi troops in Italy, and we fought them. And I just remember when the American black athlete on the Berlin Olympic Games, you know, that he got like 4 gold medals. I forgot the name of the guy, but Hitler refused to give him the medal because he was black. It was like the same thing. Just imagine that you are German troops in Italy, you're losing the war, and not only that, but now you have a lot of black people shooting at you. That's what was happening with the Brazilian troops. So there was also the war in the South Atlantic. The Brazilian Air Force and Navy destroyed 10 German submarines and 1 Italian submarine. And we protected 3,100 Allied merchant ships. That's it. You couldn't do business and you couldn't ship stuff unless we protected the South Atlantic. Over 500 Brazilian sailors were killed. Anyway, the number of losses is not very significant, but the fact that we did fight, I think it bears a great significance. A few of the pracinhas, that's how we call them, a few of the pracinhas still walk among us like giants, but the memory of the pracinha is forever etched in our very soul. So this was incredibly fine because all of a sudden, a lot of Brazilian people were starting to follow me. I don't have many Brazilian followers. I cater to international audience. I only write in English, but with this thread, a lot of people started paying attention to me, and it was very fine. So this is one thing that I like to share with you. And the other thing that I would like to share is I have this. We have talked about it. I have this. My blog is called All Things Q. And we have here a lot of different sections of it. We also have this wonderful donate button here that you can press and donate to my PayPal, because in Brazil we don't have PayPal me, so it's difficult for me. I can't provide people with one click link for them to donate, but we were able at least to put this button on the site. And we have here in the site the stories section that is very interesting, because we are assembling here my QAnon threads, the most important ones. It's still okay. So we have about 20 threads, beginning with my 2 most important, I think, who is Q and what is Q, which I would really incentivize people to read, because they really, if you are a new Q person, this is really a lot of good information. And so I would tell people to come here, because you can really have a bigger showing of my work. My threads are in thread reader application, but the problem there is anyone can unroll the threads. So they basically unroll every time I have more than one post, they deem it to be a thread and they unroll it. So my page on thread reader becomes too clouded, to things that are not stories are there too. But here we sort of, we are missing like 2 or 3 stories here, but we have over 20. So I would invite people to come see that. You know, I would also like to invite people to know my Patreon. We have 49 patrons so far. It's an experience that was difficult for me to implement, and I had a lot of doubts, and of course I got attacked by people. I had to block a lot of people that I thought were my friends but were not. And you are most welcome, all of you, to come and support my work. And that's one thing that I would like to address, if you don't mind. The thing is, when we are trying to professionalize our work in the revolution, many people attack us, and the first thing they say to me is, "Oh, Paul is a fame fag," and I go like, "Well, man, I'm a singer-songwriter. Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter, and I play guitar in a rock and roll band. Of course, I'm a fame fag to a certain degree. You know, we are working 36 hours a day, 9 days a week, and we are building slowly and painfully. We are building an audience. We are building a following, and of course, we want to leverage that into some measure of financial support. We want to measure that into book deals and documentary deals. That's just ridiculous to imagine that we would be doing otherwise. You know, a lot of people in the revolution are defending capitalism and attacking socialism, but when it comes to my work, I'm supposed to be a warrior monk, you know, and people say, oh, but you're not doing so much. Many people are risking their lives, and that is true. I'm not saying that's not true. But I would just like to point out that people in the military and people in law enforcement and the DOJ, et cetera, all these people, they are paid to do their work. You know, nobody is working for free anywhere in this world except the slaves. You know, we won't be slaves to anyone. So this is it. So when they say, "Oh, you're a fame fag," of course, in a sense, I am, but in another sense, it's ridiculous to imagine that everything we do or say or write is because we want to have followers to pay us. This is ridiculous. We have a moral compass in our work. Everybody that knows us knows that, you know. People respect us a great deal. I get showered by love from my friends, from you guys, from friends from all over the world.
In your real life, right? In your real life, people are supporting you, and you know, same thing.
Yeah, in the real life and in Twitter too. You know, I've made friends all over the world. People in Denmark, people in Germany, Canada, in America, in so many states. So this is ridiculous. We have to put a stop to that. And then there's the other stuff to say that we are patriots. This is just ridiculous. I have followers that are, for example, great carpenters. Other guys are interior decorators. And
they don't get paid for their work, do they?
Yeah.
No, you're not supposed to get paid.
But the thing is, those guys are great patriots. They work full days, and then they get online and they spend a couple of hours and they write a little bit and they retweet, and that's great. They're heroes in their own way. But that's not enough. We need people like us who are working nonstop and churning out great content all the time. So these guys are not going to have 8-hour jobs because it's impossible. How can you? The day has only so many hours, you know. So, and also, even if those guys who are great carpenters and interior decorators, and if those guys had the time on their hands, even if they had, I'm sorry, but they can't do what I do because I'm a professional writer. You know, I've always been for decades. So I would just like to address that, and I would like to also give a shout out to my greatest friend, Erica Greggs, from the great state of Oklahoma, and Mr. and Mrs. Deplorable Canadian from somewhere up in the great north. And I would like to thank every single person who has helped me, who think about help me, who helps me by reading my content and retweeting and making nice and wonderful comments that they do. And I'm just gonna let it stay here because I don't want this to be the subject. But I really, since this is our first show, I'd really like to address that because this has got to stop, you know. This is just ridiculous. Did you see that Brian Cates drone strike? He set up a GoFundMe. You know, whatever you think of the guy is a great writer and he writes all the time. And he was delivering newspapers at night. He's older than me. He's not a young guy. Mm-hmm. So, and then he put up a GoFundMe for $25,000, and in 12 hours, he had over $30,000. He had the amount of money that he asked for, and people would not stop giving it.
Well, right, and then that I think that's a big testament, Paul, to the need, the thirst for the desire for this type of information. Even just us sitting here and having this conversation about real live events, people aren't seeing that. That's what we really want as humanity. We want to be informed by other people that are like us, not clowns in suits.
You are so right, because what I tell people is, when you support some journalist or writer in the Q scene, what you are actually doing is you're taking back control from the 6 corporations that own everything in the media. I don't know how many corporations, I believe there are about 6. But what you are doing, you're taking back control. You're saying, this guy has good content. This guy will not starve. He will be fed, and he will be doing this good work that he's doing. So I have never had problems with people monetizing their work. And when I did that, it took me quite a while to implement it, to have the courage to do it, because you're dealing with self-worth issues. Every one of us thinks that we are not worth it. Nobody's going to give me 1 cent, you always think like that. But of course, when you do it, you see that people are so happy to give,
Yes.
And also, one thing that I wrote the other day, the beautiful thing about the patronage is there's just one way for me to convince people to support my work. There's just one way. I have to put out content that they cannot ignore. Once they cannot ignore my content, they read it and they like it and they value it, then I have a possibility of perhaps they helping me. So how's that a bad deal for anyone,
Yeah.
This is so great.
And just like let's say you, me, and Shady Paul are going to go out and let's say this is before the Q movement, and we're going to go on The Apprentice with Donald Trump, right? We're going to go on The Apprentice, and me, you, and Shady are going to say, hey, we're going to go ahead and support this, that, and the other thing or whatever, but we're not going to take any money for it, and we're going to have to live in boxes, and we're going to have to use the food pantries, but we're not going to take any money. Here's our business plan, Mr. Trump. What do you think he would say to us, Paul?
Yeah,
You're fired. Yeah. Exactly. Right.
Exactly.
Let's look and see who our president is, guys. And Operation Patriot was set up by the shills, the deep state, Hillary Clinton, Mossad, CIA, and MAGA coalition, and lower level trolls. This was an operation. And Q let us know with a Q post, if you recall, it said in kill brackets, CIA is here, pray. Also in parentheses, it would read CIA sinful one is here, pray. Kelly says, God bless you, Patriot. God bless you. And thank you, Jay-Z Knight, for that generous donation. I just thank you. So, we have been warned by Q that this was all happening. And I asked you before the show when we were kind of talking about this, Paul, who wouldn't want you to buy a Q shirt? Who wouldn't want you to buy a Q flag? Who wouldn't want you to buy a sticker for the back of your car? Who wouldn't want you to buy a Q hat? Who would that be?
The people that don't want you to know about Q, Matrixx.
That's called the enemy.
That's correct, Paul.
That's what I call them, the enemy.
So,
and also there's another thing. Not everyone shitting on us is deep state moles. Some are just plain envious people.
Absolutely.
There's this.
Jess Lurking says again, Matrixxx, you thrive on drama. Thank you, Jess Lurking. Maybe the drama thrives on me. You ever thought about that?
Maybe we are the drama.
Yeah, Jess Lurking. Leave Jess Lurking up there. Keep exposing yourself, Jess Lurking. Go ahead.
Yeah, with the drama before the storm. Yeah.
Right on, brother.
D-class coming.
The thing is, it may appear that this discussion that we are having here is only self-serving, because after all, I agree. I do want people to support me. I'm not trying to disguise that in any way, but this is not the whole of it, because if we are going to defend capitalism, and we are, and so you can't be doing that. I talk to people, say, how can you be defending capitalism and then saying that to me? That's just you're fired.
You're fired, exactly.
I fire people from my posts and I block them. Because that's
I've been
what
on Blockfest too, and you know, Paul too. Just like capitalism, true capitalism, not this fake capitalism that we've been, you know, programmed to accept, but true capitalism. If there's a market for it, it will continue. If there's no market for this, Paul, you know, he probably won't continue. You know what I mean? I mean, I did most of my decoding. While I was working and did this full time and had a full time job. And I decided at the first of this year to figure out how I could do this full time. And thank God for the people there in YouTube chat, Periscope, Twitter. Thank you guys very much. And I know my mods, my beautiful, awesome teammates and mods, because no one is above the other in the Q Army, have dropped your Patreon too, Paul. I hope that people have been signing up for you. I actually need to go ahead and buy you a cup of coffee every month.
Thank you very much. You're also great.
You know, we've got a Patreon, we've got a PayPal. We need to support people that are actually getting the word out. And it's funny when they say, you know, we ignore it, and we're getting attacked, and then people say you thrive on drama when we finally address it. It is absolutely the funniest thing I've ever seen. They are losing.
That's the same thing for POTUS, right? They bash him all the time, and when he speaks back, oh, he's attacking us. Of course he. What did you expect him to?
There's Kurt Pinnell. Kurt Pinnell is the one that has a, if you Google Kurt Pinnell, he's been busted for prostitution twice. He is behind the Jay-Z Knight Ramtha disinformation that you guys have been seeing with Neon Revolt and the Daily Beast. Hey, Kurt, how you doing, buddy? Guardo, buddy. Arrested twice, once under Curtis Pinnell and once under Guardo Pinnell. So you are wrong.
What a stand-up citizen.
Yeah, what a good guy, Kurt. So there he is. Go
He's
say hi
on
to
the
Kurt Pinnell, everybody. Mods, leave him up, please, and let him expose himself as well. I want to take a quick break real quick, and I've got a very amazing Twitter follower that I want you guys to meet. You see her in chat right now. Her name is Anonymous Information, and she actually has been amazing. I've never told her what to do. I've never told her to do anything. She had told me that God led her to me. She's been absolutely phenomenal. You know, just an amazing support system. She sets up groups. She tries to get people to realize the truth, what's actually been happening, and gets, you know, people back on the Q train, if you will. And this is a video that she made. It's QAnon, Q the Storm, Digital Soldiers Tribute to U.S. Army General Flynn from RQ Army. And it is done to J.T. Wild's song. Okay, so let's check this out, guys. Let's watch. Let's watch this. We are Q Army strong, guys. Q Army strong.
I'm here tonight as a determined American who loves our country. And my message to you is very clear. Wake up, America.
Oceans of emotion rise like the tide. You're the sweetest song I know. You're giving me the notion you wanna run and hide from the saddest song I wrote. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Wishing on a dead star I could know who you really are, but it's not that easy. I'm begging into the moonlight. Bring me just one more night, but she still fades away. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Thank you for the pain.
As proud patriots who deeply love our country and believe in the principles of freedom, democracy, and
Very
liberty.
haunting, it can be quite daunting, but it still fades away. My baby demon, it comes at me screaming, and then it runs away. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you for the pain. Yeah, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you once again. Yeah, I thank you for the
America does not back down from anyone or anything. That's right. USA.
USA.
You got it right, baby. That's
5-5.
exactly right.
That's anonymous information. Tribute to the Q Army Digital Soldiers. Tribute to Lieutenant General retired U.S. Army Flynn, General Flynn from our Q Army. Anonymous info. That is JT Wild. Thank you with the Q for the pain. JT Wild, that is an amazing song. Anonymous information. You're an amazing patriot. And again, this is worldwide. We've got Paul here from Brazil. We've got anonymous information here from Germany. Where are you guys from, guys? We have 126 countries coming to intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. I-70 is here. He does have a show on Patriot Soapbox. I will make sure that I-70, go ahead and tell them when your shows are on. Another great patriot, Dutch Granny Q, Philosophizer, Kevin Rogers, Kimberly Schaefer Brown, Karma. Hi, Michelle, Karma Michelle, Donna Shelley, love you. Anonymous information, there you are. Kimmy Q, Thumper Rose, how are you doing? Grace George, Song Babe, Robin Birds, Nunya Business, Angel Fly Q, Republic, JT Wild, La Livia, thank you guys. Sandy White, hello, DJT, 2Q2Q. You guys, Spokane, Washington from Philosophizer. Garden Gnome, how's my favorite gnome doing? Sparky, Coffee Crew Show. Carly, Q, Suid, Africa. Hello, guys. Welcome to the revolution. Welcome to freedom. Welcome to opening your mind. Welcome to learning together. Welcome to the Matrixxx Groove Hour, guys. Sandy White, hello. Kevin Rogers, Mickey Molina, Demos, 74DXS, Utah in the house. Robin Birds from Ontario. How are you, Robin? Robin, I hope you're doing well. Man, we got Pam from Mississippi. Great song, JT. Hey, guys, from 2000 SSCAM. Curtis Pinellas from Austin, Texas. There he is. You blocked me, man. Not like I can respond, but simple question. Where we go one, we go all. Unless you were arrested 18 years ago and it was dismissed twice. Kurt, it has nothing to do with you being arrested. It has nothing to do with me going to speak somewhere. We are going to speak the truth. Everybody has the right to hear the truth. Have you not read Q? Now, again, people, I just want to let you guys know this. Kurt Pinnell is Crop Duster. We have known him for 17 months. He was our friend. He helped us in Discord with Patriots United. We thought he helped us. As soon as we left, he turned it into an attack server, making weird, pornographic memes of me. He's been on shows lying about me and Jay-Z Knight.
Lying about me too.
Lying about Shady Groove, getting Neon Revolt into his server. Neon Revolt wrote an article.
Why are you not talking about me, man?
All the way.
Come on.
Yeah. Why are we not talking about him? All the way up to the Daily Beast, guys. So you guys have to know that this is not just some random troll. This is somebody that supported us, Paul, or pretended to. You see what I'm saying, Paul? And I'm trying to show you how these attacks are working. These are not people who we think they are. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty bad, and all power to you guys, man, because that will not stand. That will not really not stand. Because if they were just as good as they think they are, why don't they have their own audience to cater to?
And
why is their lives I'm sorry. Why is their lives about us? You know, that's ridiculous.
Well said. And anonymous information says forgive. And I do forgive Curtis Pinnell and Crop Duster and Patriots United and Neon Revolt and Will Summer, the Daily Beast. I forgive everybody because truth is on our side. Truth can't be harmed. You can tie all this crap on me and put all this stuff on me, Paul, Shady, whatever. It's not going to stick, guys.
That's what they don't get.
They don't get it.
No, they don't get it.
They don't get it.
We have love and light and freedom on our side, Matrixxx. I'm just going to let you know that anyone out there, any of the people that are standing up and attacking any Anons, at no point did Q tell anyone to attack Anons. Q told you to attack the Cabal. And the Cabal are the organizations that control you, the systems that control you. Paul Saran doesn't control you. Matrixxx doesn't control you. I don't control you. So you guys are out of line, and you know you are. So we don't really have to address it, Matrixxx. We're doing what we were put here to do. I'm following my path that I was put on this earth because I was built for this mission, my friend. I'm going to succeed.
Yeah, so go to Crop Duster Anon and read his thread and then block him, okay? Because he's absolutely a divider. He is who you warned us about. All right, so go ahead, Crop Duster Anon on Twitter. Check him out. He was also on Red Pill 78, the next after us, Shady, talking garbage. So, you know, guys, we love you, and we are going to leave it at that. So, Paul, anything else that you want to cover on this Matrixxx Groove Hour? You notice that it's more than an hour usually, right? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, but since I have managed for us to do that on a day that I don't have my son here, so we can do this all day if you want to. So should we do a quick mini here, or should we?
I would love to.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now, if you don't mind.
Yep, I'm going to go over to Zoom. Go ahead, and you got the floor, my friend.
So can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. It is on. It is. You know, we're a little bit behind on the YouTube, but yes, you're all set.
Okay, so what happens is my next thread that I'm writing about is going to be called Trudeau Must Go. And it's dedicated to my Canadian friends. They have the upcoming election in October. So the same way that I do in Venezuela, the same way that I do in France with the yellow vests, I will be making with this thread a call to all patriots to rally around the right wing in Canada to dislodge this guy. So let's go and have a little bit of fun with him. So the first thing I want to
let's do.
Yeah. The first thing I want to do is I want to have a little bit of light into it because we're going to be doing a lot of things. So I always going to be giving it a little bit more exposure so we can do a lot of shit and it won't be too dark because I always want people to have an image that is captivating, that is engaging, and that means a lot of light. So we will go there for the effects. What I always do is, you notice that he's on the first plane, so to speak, and the background is blurred. I want to have this effect even more pronounced. So I'm going to do is go here, and we will have focus only on his face, very small focus. Everything else will be a little bit out of focus. You see, if we don't have any hardness, it becomes very, very strange. But so we diminish the hardness of the. So what we have here is just let me. The original photo. Then we have what I'm doing here is I'm directing your look. Actually, without your knowledge, I'm telling you where to look. So we're going to be doing only his face. So we're going to crop the image a little bit because it's too horizontal. Let's have something like that. And then I'm going to have another effect here. That's a duotone. It's like a black and white with colors. So what was once black would be like red and white. This is what I want. So we're starting to mess around with him, and let's have some text here. So we're gonna call that Trudeau must go, okay? Trudeau must go. We select some cool typeface here. I always go for the destroyed ones. I don't know. I guess I always want to do stuff that's very intense because people are bombarded with information. So what happens is you can't really read too well this against the background. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a sticker here so I can highlight the text. I'm trying to do it very quickly. It will take another 5 minutes. I hope it's not too boring. Okay, so I'm sending this backward. And we have this sticker here with the text. Try to move the text away from his head. We're going to have to diminish. Because one thing I don't want to do is to have any text or any image that's too close to the border, because I'm going to be applying a border and I don't want it to cut any important things. So this should be more or less it. And then we're going to, we will flatten the image so we don't have a problem with that. So we're going to apply a little bit of texture. I always like to have some measure of noise in the image. I think that's very compelling. So let's try this grunge effect here. This is it. I use this stuff very much. I find it gives a humanity to the image. Something like that. Okay. So I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go to another, very quickly, I'm going to go to another site here. That's the, I'm going to open the image that I just made here. And then I'm going to apply a border. I like some borders here very much, but this one is probably one of my favorite ones. You see, this one would not work because it's sort of going over the text here. I sort of did not protect the text enough. Yeah, so I'm going to have another one that's less invasive.
Huh.
Yeah, but I'm not a graphic artist. I'm a writer. Anyone can do that, just fool around with the software a little bit. This is also not good.
No, this is really cool. We were excited to see this because there's so many people out there that don't realize how easy it is. It's really easy to communicate with the picture that says the right thing, man.
Yeah. What I say is I'm writing through those images. And what I want to do is not only to have my threads to have the best information that I can provide, but also that they be a story that is in some measure that is has an emotional component to it.
Right.
We make fun of people who are arguing through their emotions. That's not the same thing I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that a good story always has an emotional content. When I wrote, let's say, the Alice in the Wonderland thread, that was one of my most well received. It had an emotional element. I was telling to people, look into Alice's eyes. Just look into her eyes. And people were really drawn to that because once you look into Alice's eyes, you can never see life the same again, So what I'm trying to apply to the images is this concept of the emotional content. So what I have is, I have a kind of, we have the Trudeau that this would be a study of a cover, And when I do the images, I have one kind of effects and tricks that I do when they are heroes, and there are another kind of effects and tricks that I do if I perceive them to be villains, And that's why people, I think, people get drawn to my content. Once a person said, after reading very long thread, the person wrote, "Why do I feel like I just saw a movie?" And I was like, "Yes, thank you. That's what I'm aiming at." You know,
Right.
Sometimes I put a song in the end of the thread, so you have a sort of a full emotional release at the end. So what I would just like to say very quickly, I know we're way over time here, is that I am going to, alongside with Ribbit.com, that's the photo editor that I just showed you. Alongside with the people in Ribbit, we are going to be doing a meme contest on Twitter.
Yeah. Anons, you hear that? Woo!
Woo! That's going to be great. And I would like to invite you, Matrixxx and Shady, to be the judges.
Oh my! I would be delighted to do that.
That's awesome. Yes.
So now everyone knows that we will have 3 judges, and the winner of the competition will get a premium subscription to Ribbit. So it's going to be very, very
super cool.
Yeah, and I think that every one of us now I'm serious about that. Where we go one, we go all. You know, I sometimes don't subscribe to that when people try to apply to assholes. I say no, they're out of that, and also it means that the content of the Q post is available to all. You know, when there was when Nixon was impeached, they had the Deep Throat source, and the Deep Throat source was only giving content to 2 journalists. Now, Q is giving content to every patriot in the planet. That's just revolutionary, you know?
Absolutely right, man. And you're seeing that so clear. That is exactly right.
You know, and Paul, I'd like to add too, you know, Q hasn't posted in a long time. It's 18 days now, I believe. And, you know, we've had shows successfully. We go overtime all the time. I see other people really struggling with their shows. Q has not posted in 18 days, 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 41 seconds. Next Q post number. And we're doing one every day. And, you know, and we're not attacking Patriots. You know, I pray for all the attackers. It's funny, you know, we did kind of go off on a couple of little tangents here, but I think people need to know that these people just aren't, you know, regular people. They have been, you know, called to attack Patriots. And it's not just me. It's many people. Dustin Nemos yesterday getting attacked by the same people. The same Praying Medic. They're all the same people, guys.
George Sather, everybody, they're attacking the same people. Lisa May.
Yep. You know, you can look at Bill Smith. Sadly, Red Pill 78. Sadly, sometimes Space Shot. I hope, you know, I've been talking to Space Shot. It sounds like he's you know, turning a little bit. So I hope so, because I really did like him. I liked all these people, guys. But, you know, Patriots.
I still like them. I still like them. They just don't like me.
Yeah, they don't like me. They don't like me. So, you know, and it's funny. You know, funny, Paul, when we actually address it finally. That's the fun thing about freedom. They say we're the ones that are attacking when we actually address it, when they put us into a corner and try to make us, you know, respond, right? They act like we're the ones attacking all the time.
I attack with laughter, Matrixxx.
Right.
I'm not mean.
There's Neon Revolt. The MAGA coalition lies, total lies from you, but actions speak louder than words when you attack Praying Medic and myself. Actions, Neon. Actions.
Yep. I mean...
So, you know, look,
we're here to go after the cabal, not other anons. Neon, more power to you, brother, man.
And thank you very much for you know, giving the hat tip to us on the Pacer research. We did figure it out, and the cabal doesn't like it. So Neon, if we could where we go one, we go all now, I'd be honored, brother. And I'd be honored to drop all of it because I love you and I pray for you too, brother. And Shady, go ahead and you know, finish. I just wanted to get that.
I just would like to I'd just like for the anyone out there to recognize that we are attacking the cabal, not supporting them. And whenever you bring weak sauce that's cabal oriented sauce to attack me with, brother, discredits you, not me.
Yeah, and he says we gave him a chance and we spat in his face, but he used the same trolls that have been trolling me. The same trolls that said I was a satanic pedophile with War Drummer are the same trolls telling me not to go speak at Jay-Z Knight's event. So I'm not going to listen to you, and I'm going to spit in your face again, brother. All right, so there you go, Neon Revolt, neonrevolt.com. He is mining your information for Bitcoin. He is behind mining your information on qmap.pub as well. So, and he is MAGA Coalition. There you go. All right, Neon, that is not the cabal. Fake news, brother. Did you get that from Will Summer or a two-time convicted felon from Texas? All right, guys.
This is uncool. These people are uncool.
They are.
I mean, but this is a little bit of exposure, Paul. I mean, they're allowed freedom, and that's what freedom is. Freedom is their ability to attack us.
So Angel Q says, "Play nice, guys." We are playing nice. They are not.
We're sitting here letting him attack us.
Right.
He's on the show. He's on the chat.
Yep.
Yes.
And you have not blocked him.
No, we haven't.
No, we're letting them show themselves, guys. We need to let we have been blocking them, Paul, but we're letting the trolls come out and show who their true colors are. True colors.
We want people to see it.
You're not blocking them. Why is complaining?
Well, I did time them out, just so you know.
You don't get unblocked in my show. I tell you this much. You get fucking blocked.
He came into your show, Paul. Can you believe that?
I know, man.
That's not cool.
That is not cool.
We're going to have to, I don't know.
That is not cool.
We're going to have to send somebody to their room.
And the great thing is we are such shitty individuals that they flock to our show to bash us. Why is that? If you're not good, just go watch some other show. This is pretty pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And apparently, I think, Neon was upset about saying that I lied about the MAGA Coalition. Brian Cates also did a show about it. And as you know, I bring the sauce. Here is the Maggot Coalition. Here is 0 Hours Bad. I told you to bring down intheMatrixxx. I'm next. I'm still up. Thank you, Colin. Ginger McQueen said it was a joint effort with 0 Hour and Neon Revolt. She has helped us tremendously over the last few months. Wait, who helped tremendously? I believe it was Neon Revolt. No, Matrixxx figured out yesterday. Neon is working with us at the MAGA Coalition. Now, it might be a joke, but actions speak louder than words. So, Neon, you're busted.
Well, he did agree with him.
Yep, he did. He agreed with them, And here they are with my name. Let me know that my account is next to go down. We're on our way. That was on May 23rd, 2019. So, guys, believe what you want. Here's Neon joining Crop Duster, Curtis Pinnell's server. There's Curtis Pinnell right there, Crop Duster, Kurt Pinnell. You guys remember that, right? There he is. Welcome, Neon. Good to see you here. Oh, my God. Here's Brian Cates, Draw and Strike, talking about these people as well, using my sauce. So Brian Cates has been cued as well. All right. Now, there you go. So have fun with that, guys. Chew on it. With that, Paul, we got some last words. I'm sorry that happened, but sometimes I think this needs to happen. In order.
Well, I'm always for bashing the bad guys. We could do a show only with that. I'd be.
we might think about that.
Right.
Just pet peeves. I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, and there has been a lot of dividing out here. I'm going to drop in Cates' thread because I don't know if my mods have it. Let me just drop it real quick before. But Paul, go ahead and let me know about your final words. Do you have any final words out here for these fine patriots that join us every day?
First of all, I would like to thank you, Matrixxx and Shady, for having me. It does mean a lot to me. Yeah, I'm not joking about. And I had a reasonably rough week because of that, and it was well worth it. I'm feeling very, very good. I was nervous before. Now I'm not anymore. We are way over time, and people seem to be enjoying. So I would like to thank everyone that came to see us, and just where we go on, we go all.
All, not some, right, Paul? And Paul,
just save the world.
Yeah, and I want to tell you that you are getting so much great feedback. Everybody here loves you. I said put 5-5. Let's do it again for Paul so we can see it in the replay. Hit 5-5 if you love Paul Ceran. And I'm going to lead it off right here with my 5-5. If my somebody's going to beat me. Oh my gosh, I want to be the first one. Oh, Truth for Freedom got me. Way to go, Shady.
On that one.
And I want to give another huge shout out to our lead mod, Jay Vega. He is absolutely an amazing dude. We love you. And, you know, she took a little bit of a vacation. She came back yesterday. So, gosh, you know, Vega, glad to have you back. Game is on. Shady, final thoughts as we go out of here.
My final thoughts are I love Paul Ceran, and you joining us, sir, is just an amazing it really is an amazing honor to have you on us. You're brilliant Anon. You are standing up with us in this fight, worldwide fight against the worldwide control systems, and I am really humbled to work beside you, and thanks for coming on, and hopefully you'll start joining us every week. Matrixxx, I appreciate everything you do. Anons, everyone out there, what a day. Matrixxx Groove Hour may have gone a little bit more than an hour today, bud, but we can squeeze down and get out of here in just a moment, and we'll be back tomorrow, guys.
Again, and for you, Paul, just so you know, this show will air on Twitter, Periscope at 1717 East Coast, and that's 517 on the East Coast, so you can get out and share it on Twitter, the whole show, guys. And with that, I want to thank Paul Ceran for joining the Matrixxx Groove Hour. I want to thank Shady Groove.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Paul. Much love to you guys. intheMatrixxx with 3x's.com. Check out our Patreon and our PayPal in this video description below. Share it. Share the word, guys. Share the word. We're over the target. Hence the attacks. Badge of honor. Military grade. We'll see you tomorrow on the Matrixxx Groove Hour. It'll be Friday, fun day, and we also have the Q Lounge Live coming up tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 shows. Are you sick of us? You better not be. We love you guys. Much love, Patriot. Again, on YouTube, if you want to catch it live, Periscope folks, go to youtube.com/c/intheMatrixxx with 3 X's. Takes you right here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.